The Stones are firing on all cylinders with Foreign Tongues. Everybody seems to love this album, so I decided to go back into my catalog and go to some of my favorite albums and share them with you. Of course, I could have gone the easy route and picked like Exile on Main Street, Sticky Fingers, and Let It Bleed, but decided to stick to a little bit more latter day stuff because people kind of omit it and say it's not good. And I'm going to say that's not true. They've got some good stuff. So I'm going to start off with the first one. It's 94's Voodoo Lounge. This was the follow up to Steel Wheels, which was their big comeback album in the 80s. Everybody thought they're not going to make it. They're dead. They're finished. And Steel Wheels comes out with Mixed Emotions, Rock in a Hard Place, and they do videos, have a super big tour. I saw them at the Olympic Stadium here in Montreal, and then people going, can they follow up? And I think they did with a pretty. I think this album surpasses Steel Wheels in terms of quality, and the sound and the vibe is a little bit more in tune to what I expect the Stones album to sound like. Has that tinge of the blues, a little bit more rock oriented, a little less polish, a little less gleam to it. Like Love Is Strong is not a single I expected them to release. Like when I heard that, I said, "Wow, this is like a little bit dirty harmonica, not polished and clean like Steel Wheels." So I was impressed, and I said, "I'm picking this album up," and I did enjoy it. "You Got Me Rockin'" is a great rocker. "Sparks Will Fly," I got used to. The beginning, I didn't like this song, but I do like it now. "Out of Tears" is a nice ballad. "I Go Wild" is a good rock song. I like "Sweethearts Together." Mick and Keith together on that, really beautiful. I also like Baby Break It Down. It's kind of like a mid tempo bluesy number, underrated gem in the catalog. And of course, there's Through and Through from Keith Richards, which I believe got a second win because of The Sopranos. But a solid release. My only quibble, like most people said, this album is way too long, and I agree. They could have thrown off one or two tracks off here, and it would have been perfect. Then we have a bigger bang. This is where I think the Stones kind of get cohesive again and really are on the same page, creating a rock album. And I really was surprised with this album. I mean, Rough Justice, I think Laugh I Nearly Died is probably one of the best Stones ballads you've never heard. Is I think they released Street of Dreams or something instead. And that's like just a generic song. But if I have to go through this quickly, um, Rough Justice is good. It Won't Take Long. Rain Fall Down. See, Streets of Love is good, but not amazing. Back of My Hand is a dirty, slinky blues number. That's a great song. Then I'm going to have to say Biggest Mistake is not bad as well. Of course, there is Laugh I Nearly Died, which I think is the most greatest vocal delivery of the Latter Day Stones albums from Mick Jagger. This is heartfelt, tender. It breaks me every time I hear it. Then, of course, there's the Keith Richards song Infamy. So if you thought the Stones couldn't pull it together and make a great sounding rock album with riffs until now, this guy is not a bad place to go back to. Another surprise, the many surprises from the Stones. Everybody writes them off all the time. I don't. I said there's always gas in the tank with these guys. Everybody says, you know what, they used to be a blues band. You know why they do blues numbers, and how come they're not bluesy anymore? This album, wow, man! I think they did this in 10 days, and this sounds incredible. The energy, the rawness, the power. If you thought these guys, lost that energy, that swagger, I mean, so that these other albums that I'll talk about before, it doesn't surprise me that this shows again with it's not polished like Steel Wheels or something. This is down and dirty, raw in the studio, live in your face. Do yourself a favor. If you thought the Stones couldn't do it in the studio and make something powerful, this is a way to go start. Then of course we have the return After years of us thinking the Stones are done after the blues record, there's nothing going to happen, they come out with Hackney Diamonds. And that's this punch in the face to say, hey, man, we are the Stones. We can make it sound timeless, but still make it sound like us. And they knocked it out of the park. This is one of the strongest releases in years. Didn't think that. I knew they could do a good album. I never doubted it. But man, every song on here was so good. I mean, for me, but the one I like a lot is Get Close. I think that's just a great song. I don't know why that doesn't get noticed. Everybody goes with Angry and Bite Your Head Off, but Get Close is one of those sneaky little devils that, like New Horizon on Paul McCartney. It's that one that grows on you. Give this a listen, you really like it. And of course, there's Sweet Sounds of Heaven with Lady Gaga, and then Rolling Stone Blues. Any way you slice it, it was just a killer record. And I think another one that's should have not been this good, but it's this damn good. So these are my choices of some of the Latter Day Stones albums, but I mean studio albums. Of course, there's an album that I'm going to talk about probably later on. That's not a studio record, and I'll get back to you with that review a little later. So these are my choices. You let me know. Do you like the Latter Day Stones songs? Do you follow any of them? Do you know any of them? You know, let me know. Share your thoughts with us. Hit the like button, subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And this is Steven with my choices of some of the best Latter Day Rolling Stones albums. And I'll be seeing you guys in the future.